Minister, we don't really have anything to celebrate. An insane policy of promoting a banking property bubble led to an even more insane decision to bail out those same banks and property developers. An odious debt was imposed upon the Irish people. It hasn't gone away, and it won't go away on December the 15th. And neither will the consequences of that insanity. Next year, the state will pay $8 billion in interest payments. That's equal to the amount we will borrow in 2014. It's equal to the education budget, and it's equal to 50% of the health spending in this country. This figure will rise over the next years. It's absolutely clear there is no possibility of having any part of this debt reduced. The policy of being the poster child of austerity, of doing what we're told to do and hoping for a handout has been a disastrous failure. The policies of this government and previous governments have meant the imposition of a brutal, cold-hearted assault on the living standards of those who can least afford it. A report out today on the effects of poverty on children shows the stark figures that 1 in 5 children go to bed or to school hungry because there's not enough food in their homes. The survey of income and living standards of February, that came out in February of this year, shows starkly as well there's been an increase to 16% of the population earning below €11,000 a year and at risk of poverty. This is 733,000 individuals, and 1 in 7 of those individuals has a job. Consistent poverty is up from 4% in 2008 to 7% in 2011, and it's no doubt higher now. This is the doubling of people in real need. Deprivation now affects 1 in 4 people. They are people who are unable to heat their home, unable to buy a present, have a warm coat or buy meat. The effects of the austerity means that 100,000 plus people or families are waiting on lists for social housing which doesn't exist. Another 100,000 are in arrears on their mortgages with the prospect looming of mass evictions. Over 100,000 young people have been forced to emigrate, and mass unemployment is at a real figure of 23% when you take the figure of the underemployed into that figure. I could go on and on and on. There is nothing to celebrate. This is a political decision. The aim is to give the impression that the bogeyman of the troika are gone, and we can now return to the warm embrace of the kind, gentle, good Samaritans of international bond markets. Are we to celebrate the fact that we can borrow the money from a group of loan sharks to pay the interest on the money we previously borrowed from another group of loan sharks? The question of whether we borrow from the troika or the bond market is a Hobson's choice. We should never have been in this situation. The way out is to repudiate the odious part of this debt. That is the debt accruing from the bank bailout. This has happened every day of the week in banking situations with their customers all over the country. We've seen it with independent newspapers recently, where a whole chunk of money was wiped off the debt of Dennis O'Brien's company. It can be done. We should be seeking it. This government should be seeking it, and leave that huge weight that's on the Irish people and take it off our shoulders.